Today, I'm going to talk about a very important question that is on the minds of many people. And that question is... Welcome back to Our Not So Perfect Life. My name is Jason, and my wife Delynn, who is usually by my side, also known as Lover, is waving from a distance, and she wanted to make sure that she says hello to you and all of your amazing, shiny, and happy faces. Now, before we get to the big question, I want to remind you to stick around because I am going to share a perspective about our travel life and RV life specifically that is very important to us on this channel and why we have filmed the way that we filmed, why we document the way that we document, and why we tell the kinds of stories that we share with you week in and week out. And if you know nothing about our channel, we try to take what's ordinary and see it as extraordinary, and we want to give you an inside glimpse as to why we do the things that we do and how it might change your perspective on travel altogether. All right, so let's jump right into it. The big question that many people are asking right now about the RV travel industry specifically is it game over or game on? Okay, there's lots of reasons why this question is being asked, right? I mean, look around the world right now. Just look around you right now, and you can understand why many people might be asking this question. I thought I would help shed light on this very question so that maybe you can have some clarity, know some truths about the RV industry from somebody who's been in it for over 2 years and has traveled over 60,000 miles in an RV all across this country, from sea to shining sea. So we've learned some things, and I want to share some things with you today so that you can have a better understanding of what's going on in the RV industry from our perspective and know, is it game over or is it game on? So it doesn't matter if you're a sometimer, a full-timer, somewhere in between, or if you're not even in the RV lifestyle and you're questioning whether or not it works and fits for you. So let's pull back the wool on some of the worries that you might have that might make you think it's game over. Let's talk about those. There are lots of factors, some things you might be seeing in the news, like for example, there are RV manufacturers that are shutting down parts of plants or entire manufacturing facilities altogether, and it's kind of spooking the industry. It's scaring the industry into thinking, man, is this RV manufacturer going belly up? Is it over? There are small mom and pop RV manufacturers, especially during this huge RV boom, that have closed up. One example is Lazy Days RV Manufacturing. Lazy Days, if you don't know anything about this company, they're a custom-built Class C. And what they have done is they've taken a family-owned business and they've worked really robust. They have a cool story. Check out what Lazy Days RV used to be until their company went totally dark. They closed up shop and they are no longer manufacturing RVs. That again has rattled the industry a little bit, especially for those that know and love Lazy Days RVs, or any other mom and pop manufacturer for that matter. The increase in gas prices, that has definitely thrown a lot of people for a loop. I mean, look, it doesn't matter what you think in this country, gas prices are what they are, and they were what they were, and we don't know what the future holds for gas prices. We know things always have a cyclical thing of doing this, but man, when RVs are getting pulled across the country or across town, it does cost more money. There's just no way around it. And those prices have either made people change plans, shorten trips, or maybe even cancel them altogether, which is making people think, man, the RV industry must be game over. Another reason that people might be thinking this is that all they have heard since, the big boom of the RV industry in 2020 is that RV parks are jammed full. You can't get reservations, or if you do go to an RV park, it's so stuffed to the max you can't even enjoy anything because it's just overcrowded so much. And trying to get a reservation, yeah, right, it's horrible. Or in the same respect, national parks. National parks are so busy because of people wanting to be outdoors and people wanting to enjoy like Mother Nature at its finest, and our national parks are true global gems, that they're so overrun by tourists you can't enjoy it. So much so that the national parks have had to create a reservation system, and that reservation system makes it impossible to get in maybe at the peak times of the season. right? So there's a discouragement there that comes in and creeps into the mind of would-be RVers. Or this one, which we've heard personally, which is there are so many novice RVers on the road that I would be terrified to be on the road on the weekend with them, crisscrossing and zigzagging like maniacs across the country, right? We have heard these things directly, and it can definitely make someone feel a little anxious about being so eager to get on the road with all of these novices. And lastly, the fears of a current economic state. Look, the rise of inflation is real, it's true, and honestly, it does affect people's pocketbooks and their ability to make vacationing or RV lifestyle decisions. That's just real true, like that's just being honest. And when you have to make decisions financially that impact a lifestyle or how you want a vacation, those things are real. And so it shouldn't be overlooked or understated. People's pocketbooks are being affected. There's a rise in cost in RV models, both new and used, and you may be questioning whether or not you can afford the RV lifestyle, whether you do it part-time, full-time, or anything in between. Can I actually pull this off? So, what's it gonna be? Is it game over or is it game on? Now, I've covered a lot of negative things about why you might be thinking it's game over in the RV travel industry. Let me set your mind at ease, okay? Let's talk realistically, a little bit of chat. Just you and I, kind of calm things down. Let's just calm it down a little bit and talk about the reality of what an RV lifestyle and RV travel can look like. Now, the things I'm going to share are my opinion, right? Only you can be responsible for your financial choices. Only you can be responsible for your financial outlook and your picture, and only you know what you can afford to do. Dylan and I weren't born with silver spoons in our mouth. We're not trust fund babies. We work hard for every dime we've ever made, and we travel with grit, sweat, and hard work. And that's how we have made this happen. We sold everything we've ever owned, basically, so that we could throw it into this lifestyle and give it a go. Why? Because we never wanted to say, I wished I would have. So, saying all of that, only you are responsible for your own choices and your own, affordability. So know that going into it. I'm just going to give you my opinion on a few things, and here it is. Number one, you're going to go on vacations anyway. So you have to ask yourself, how do I want to go on a vacation, right? How do I want to live in a lifestyle? Do I want to travel across the country via an airplane and have to spend hotel costs and rent cars and do all of that? Or do I want to sleep in my own bed with my own clothes and my own shower and my own bathroom? These are real statements and real questions that people ask themselves. So when you go to travel, how do you want to travel? Number two, overcrowded areas, both national parks, RV parks, the roadways, whatever. Yes, let's be honest, major bucket list areas are going to be packed, most especially at high peak seasons. I mean, it's ridiculous to think that Yellowstone or Yosemite or Glacier National Park or any other major national bucket list place that you may want to go is not going to be packed in the summer is kind of crazy to think about, right? Let's just be honest. But even in the peak season, maybe you can go after hours. Maybe you can go near the sunset time, try to find out what the busiest area of that park is, and hit the not so busy areas of the park. But aside from that, guys, there's literally thousands of places that you can go in this country and enjoy incredible, breathtaking, off the beaten path places that aren't crowded with loads of tourists and people and novice RVers just clogging up the space. And so there's lots of opportunity that you can do research on to try to find those hidden gems and maybe keep them hidden. We've traveled to some cool places that we have never filmed or haven't shared on our YouTube channel because we wanted to keep them hidden. There's a reason for that. There's a reason they're untouched, and we want to respect that and just go and enjoy them just like you would want to go and enjoy them. So do some research and find the off the beaten path places. We have a few of the less visited on our channel, just like when we took you to Florida earlier this year through one of our videos, and we showed you a not so busy national wildlife refuge in Florida. absolutely stunning place. But man, it just wasn't really all that busy. Check that video out. I'll put that link in the description below. And finally, number 3, yes, the economy can be scary, but regardless of what any financial future might look like, you can still enjoy time away. Look, RVing can be as simple as maybe RVing in your own backyard, like literally your own driveway. It might be finding somewhere close within 100 miles of your own place that maybe you can park your rig just to get away, just to have a campfire, just to get into the woods. You don't have to drive 2,000 miles across the country to enjoy the RV lifestyle. I wouldn't want you to be tripped up by this like you have to somehow go from here to this magnificent, unbelievable place that is only the awe-striking place of the United States or anywhere else in your country to go and enjoy it. You can go in very close proximity of your own hometown, or maybe even in your hometown, to just enjoy time away. As we've RV'd across the country, we have met so many people that vacation in their own state, that vacation within 15 miles of their own home, just because they want to get out to an RV park, they want to get out in their RV, and they want to enjoy that lifestyle. You can do the same. You don't have to spend $5,000 in fuel just to get across the country to enjoy a weekend. So look, I understand that the RV life can look very, very glamorous. And it is. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to deny that in any stretch, in any sense of the way. I'm not going to. It's super cool to be able to get in a rig, just travel with your family, and have a ton of fun. But you don't need to be all the way across the country, and you don't even need to dive all the way in if you don't want to, or are afraid, or can't afford to do so. This is the choice that we made. We gave up everything in order to do that. And sure, it's been a blast. But you can rest assured that you can enjoy RVing wherever you are at. And this is the point I was talking about earlier, the hidden perspective that I want to share with you. It's why we've documented the way we documented. It's the reason we've traveled the way that we've traveled. Yeah, we've been to Yellowstone. We've been to Yosemite. Yosemite. We've been to the big places. There's some we still haven't even been to, but we've been to the places that are also meaningful to us. We've traveled to junkyards. You've got to meet Uncle Dave. You've been able to meet my mom. We've been on abandoned lighthouses. We've spent our summers on the shores of Michigan beaches. We've done things that aren't necessarily exotic or exclusive, but we've found beauty in the ordinary. We've zigzagged across the Atlanta metro to take our son to all the Stranger Things sets that we could go to in a weekend, and drove 1,000 miles in 3 days. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Guys, that is the good stuff. Yes, Yosemite is beautiful. Yes, Yellowstone should be checked off your bucket list. But there's tiny towns in Wyoming, in Swan Valley, in Idaho, in Alabama. Our good friends John and Mercedes at the RV Odd Couple have a sweet campground that you can get involved in a little tiny town called Ider, Alabama. We've got a video on that as well. What I'm trying to say to you is that there's extraordinary in the ordinary because of how you view it. I could go on and on and on, guys, but the motto of our channel is to make everyday life beautiful, even when it isn't. And it's not a fun, cute, catchy phrase that we want to get into your mind so that suddenly you repeat it. It's a motto that we want you to live by, to make everyday life beautiful, even when it isn't. And we want to do that by documenting and sharing when things don't go our way, when life doesn't work out as we see it planned, and we have to somehow take a left-hand turn when we were expecting to take a right. Life just goes that way, and we just want to share with you how you can do the same things. So is it game over for the RV travel lifestyle? No way. In fact, we believe it's game on.